I say once again, welcome to TTG Sports. Please like, share, and subscribe to the page below, or go to my YouTube page, TTG Sports, and subscribe to it. But I'm gonna wait till a few more people get in. Let me go get my drink. Hold on. Leaving. Yeah. Okay. Y'all might not watch it now, but you're gonna watch as I get to talking and you get to finding out what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'll give it a few more seconds before, like I say, it was a good game up until halftime, and then Alpha Girl just really just 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 ran away with it in the second half. But I want to deliver flowers that they should be delivered. Also talk about what I saw in the game. Also what I feel like went wrong in the game. And also to encourage some of these players, you know what I'm saying, if they get discouraged about what's going on, to show the good things that I saw, and also to also show the bad things, or to talk about the bad things that I saw also. So like I said, I'm gonna give a couple of more minutes just to see who's gonna chime in and things like that. Cause I'm pretty sure I'd rather for you to look at it now and comment to me now, because you get to comment later. I may not even pay it no attention because I'm on to the next. Cause I got another game to go to tomorrow. So a lot of these questions and complaints about what I may say or what I may not say, probably just be able to get answered tonight. What's going on, Mark? Probably just be able to get answered tonight, because we got another game tomorrow, another big game, somewhere in the great state of Mississippi. Just don't know where I'm going yet, but will be another one tomorrow too, though. But like I said, Oxford Lady Chargers versus Hernando Lady Tigers. The game started out. Hernando jumped out to a 8-0, jumped out to an 8-0 run and everything. Oxford coach made some subs real quick to gather his troops. Then they gradually ended up, falling into sync on how things to go in. So, but going into halftime, it was 24-25. Oxford was up by 1 point. Hernando was down by 1 point. So at this time, if you're watching the game and you're any type of basketball player, at this time you're trying to see what each team is going to do when they come out of halftime and what type of adjustments that they're going to make. So with that being said, it's obvious to see because Oxford made the better adjustments at halftime. But before I get into all the rosters, get into the roster and the stats of some of the players that played tonight that stood out, I just want to say that kids, we have to do better. You know what I'm saying? If an athlete is what you want to be, regardless of whatever sport that it is, you have to literally dedicate some time to this sport to perfect your craft. Because a lot of us are just out there looking for excuses and not willing to own up to say that I ain't been doing my part. Because I seen a couple of people that I knew, and they still was doing the same thing that they've been doing for 3-4 years. Like nothing has changed. And so We just need to do a better job, and a lot of times we can't put everything on the coach. You know what I'm saying? I just think sometimes, even myself, we all go through it, but we need to evaluate ourselves as parents. You know what I'm saying? Because as parents, sometimes we babyfy our kids to a point to where they feel, well, Mark, it was Hernando and Oxford girls. I think Oxford girls end up winning 68-35. I think that was the last time I looked at the scoreboard or whatever. But Mark, Oxford got some young talent that looks pretty good out there. But I'm gonna start with Hernando with the people that stood out and really want to just give them their flowers and give them advice of what I seen and what I feel like may help their game. I'm not gonna call everybody out on Hernando's roster. Like I said, I'm just gonna call out what stood out to me. And what stood out to me may not be what stood out to you. So for Hernando, the bright spots in Hernando, I would say would be Martin, which is junior point guard that they have. She had a solid game. I wouldn't say she probably had her best game, but overall, you can tell that basketball is something that has been kind to her. She just needs to work on composure and just when she makes a mistake, not to get so down on herself. You know what I'm saying? It causes her to get out of character and may get out of her game and things like that. But overall, with the heart and the dog, the things that people can't teach, Martin, I would love for, which she's number 3 and her last name is Martin. I just don't know how to say her first name, so I don't want to mess up nobody's name. But I can read the word Martin, you know what I'm saying? So I would encourage Martin. She had 10 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. And I know as a point guard, when I say a point guard, she has 1 assist. Oxford wasn't really giving up the passing lane. Oxford really wasn't giving up the passing lane. So, because I don't think as a team, Hernando had too many assists regardless, as a team. So, big shout outs to Oxford on how they play defense. And I will, Neville's, I don't know what number, what classification Neville's is, but she got out to a great start. She ended up the game with 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 block. It doesn't justify because I think she got hurt and she missed a lot of during the game. You know what I'm saying? She missed a lot during the game. She didn't come back until midway through the 3rd quarter, and when she did come back, she wasn't the same person that she was before she left. But overall, if you take the bright spot with that, Neville's and Martin, had a good faring. But overall, Hernando just didn't come out the second half and adjust to what was going on. And Oxford took advantage of the mistakes that Hernando made in the second half. So, but I would honestly say that I seen a lot of emotions tonight. And to me, it wasn't in-game emotions, meaning that there's nothing wrong with kids having some type of emotion towards the game. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with a kid being fired up. But what is wrong is when it's not emotion, it's attitude. And so when attitude is mixed in with a basketball team, it's gonna always set up a recipe to be defeated. You know what I'm saying? There were times to where Hernando they was going back and forth, but it was emotions and attitude that took Hernando out the game. Worried about what the refs doing, or worried about what's going on, or complaining about everything instead of just playing ball. I just don't think that how the game went tonight, I don't think no one had the right to just blast her and just go all overboard. It was just terrible attitudes out there on the court tonight for Hernando. And not saying that they were, I don't know what was going on in the court. It's just from my eyesight, from what I was looking, he was just attitudes that just took them completely out the game. Completely out the game. And it is hard with this generation to try to teach them to correct their attitudes because they're so sensitive and they're so entitled to where, why are you talking to me like this, or why are you doing this? And it just makes no sense. So I just really want to, if I had to give one insight on Hernando's team, I would just really ask, you know what I'm saying, really try to say, y'all just try to work on y'all attitudes. You know what I'm saying? Truly work on y'all attitudes, because attitudes can destroy a team, and better yet, destroy you when you just getting an attitude about things you can't truly control. You can't control what the referees is doing. So stop letting the referees feel like if they call this, they just looking for you to do something, and you do it, and then you get mad when they give you a tech, when they set you up for it, and you really got that tech on your own because of the attitude of you having just looking for an excuse when teams are coming back. When adversity hit, the worst thing you need to turn to is your attitude. But on the bright side, we're going to get to Oxford. Oxford has a nice young team. This was my first time ever seeing Oxford in person. And they had a couple of kids that stood out. And I'm going to start off with Mathis, number 12. When you see this kid is, you may see her, she had these glasses on, and you may look like this may not be a ball player. But as soon as that ball goes up and it's time to play, she's doing everything for a team that she feel like she needs to do to win. And when I seen her play, she don't thrill you with the I'm a pat, do all this and everything. She's just a ball player. I don't know her classification or anything. Let's just say she is a senior. She still fits the JUCO caliber of kid to where she can go play at the next level and everything, because she brings something that is rarely able to be taught. The kid has a lot of dog, and that was the thing with a couple of these kids on Oxford team. You just seen that the dog and the tenacity and the fight in them was just so different. You know what I'm saying? Than from Hernando. The dog that Hernando had, they was using it with attitudes. The dog that Oxford had, they was just using it on the court to help their team get better. And so Mathis ended up with like 14 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 steals, and a block. I mean, this kid was just everywhere on the court to a point to where I was like, where did she come from? Like, I've never seen this kid, and that's one thing that I'm happy about what I'm doing, is that by me going around evaluating these kids and seeing things, you run across kids with potential. And the first thing that you want to do, you know, when you run across kids with potential, is to encourage them on what they can do better. You know what I'm saying? But also, you also want to tell them what they can work on when it comes to the game. And if I had one thing for Mathis, to encourage her to constantly continue work on your ball handling skills. Everything that you have else dealing with your game, keep doing what you're doing. But if I was you, I would really love for you to polish up on your ball handling skills. And another thing, even over the other recaps that I did, if any kid hears anything from me, you can easily inbox me, or you can message me on YouTube, or you can message me on Twitter, TTG Sports, and ask me, I'll send you drills if that's the case, or I'll send you something that you can do that can help what I'm saying that you need to work on, if that's something that you look at me as capable of being able to do. But I love what I saw to you, Mathis. I did. There was another kid that came off the bench, number 22, Ivy. She just came in and she got off to a rocky start too. She's a young kid that I do know. I do know that she's a 2025. She got off to a rocky start, but she ended up with the game with 9 points, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. And stat line may not say a lot, but this kid didn't get them many minutes. So, but when she got the minutes, she took advantage of the minutes. And so, I would encourage that kid to continue to keep growing, keep doing what you're doing. Figure out the things that that makes you click for your team. As you can see, your team is using you as a wing slash forward. Like, you can't really just pinpoint what you're doing, but I like the motor. I love the energy. If her and Mathis keep doing what they're doing, future is bright in Oxford. I do see a good team in Oxford, to a point to where 6A to me is going to be very interesting when it gets down to the stretch and things like that. I think a lot of it is going to come down to coaching, but I haven't seen Tupelo nor Germantown play in person yet. But everybody else that I've seen thus far in 6A, there's no one that you can really just say, oh, they're going to win 6A. But until I see Tupelo and Germantown, I just feel like 6A basketball is just wide open. So I would encourage you to get stronger, work on your craft more, and just continue to be the player that you are right now and figuring out your role for this team. Fryer, number 3. Fryer, man, if anybody was at this game, they would have been like, this kid was just everywhere doing everything that her team needed at the right time. Fryer ended up the game with 14 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover. This kid here is probably about a 5'9" kid playing in a 6'4" body, because she plays everywhere on the court, but she was doing a lot of damage around the rim, getting rebounds, putbacks, and things like that. I think she was having fun trying to stack up her rebound, because she was shooting shots, getting her rebound, and putting them back up. She was going 2 for 2, sometimes down the trip. But with Fryer, if I had to say anything about your game, like I say, I tell everyone, ball handling skills have to brush up. I would tell you to work on your speed and things like that, and develop a jump shot, because with what you do for your team, if you can add those other pieces to it, you'll be, because she's a sophomore too, I think, because that sophomore class is very, 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 very loaded. You can be one of the top kids in that class also. I love what I saw out of you, the motor, the energy, the IQ of what's going on. The second half, you would have thought Oxford was one of the best teams in the state on how they operated and how they played with each other. When they started trapping those kids from Hernando, and Hernando just broke on down after they got to trapping them, man, you would have been like, woo-wee. But there's another kid on Oxford team. Her last name is Metcalf. Yeah, she's DK Metcalf's sister. And she came off the bench tonight. She ended up with 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals, and she had a turnover also. But what I would say about Metcalf, she's just pure raw athlete right now. The game has to slow down for her and things like that. If I had one thing that I saw that she truly needs to work on right now is she missed free throws. She missed a couple free throws. Well, she missed 6 free throws, but she was more like 5 for 6, 6 for 6, well, 6 for 12 or something like that. She didn't shoot with 50%. But overall, when you see this kid on the court, she just does everything for her team also. Rebound, steal, can guard the 1 through the 5, it seems like. Because one time she was guarding a big girl, one time she was guarding a point guard. You just seen her everywhere. She had 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 steals, 1 block, 2. Yeah, that's right. But overall, I was very impressed with Metcalf. Metcalf has, to me, is one of the most athletic specimens in that 2025 class. And just to see that 2025 class, I would encourage all college coaches in state and out of state to get their picnic baskets ready to come and just vacation in Mississippi if you're looking for good talent. From what I'm seeing while I've been out here on this trail, there's a lot of great talent in that 2025 class, and we can't minimize it to the few that we're talking about. Because I seen some talent tonight, and as the years go on, Mississippi basketball should be making a jump if they're not one just say if they're paying attention or if they're just making the proper adjustments that they need and taking the positive criticism or taking any criticism and turning it into a positive. Because at the end of the day, some of these problems are not coaches' problem. Some of these problems are not parents' problem. A lot of the things are internal. You know what I'm saying? And some of these problems may not never be fixed. But in life, you will learn lessons that if you can't grasp or adjust in life, it ain't too many things that you can be in life. Because everybody has to be willing to make an adjustment, has to be willing to change, and has to be willing to make sacrifices for their team when it's time to make sacrifices for them. And tonight, Oxford girls just made more sacrifices for their team than Hernando made for theirs. You know what I'm saying? It was more of a show and just horrible. Like I say, I'm not going to just keep, you know what I'm saying, talking about this because it was just terrible basketball when the attitudes came in. And the team that didn't have the attitude totally took advantage of them not having the attitudes because they were just there to play ball. So if we're going to take anything from this game right here, Oxford, Hernando, let's kill the attitudes. Let's polish up on our game. Because at the end of the day, it was a good game, but there wasn't a D1 player on the court right now. You know, I don't feel like. I could be wrong, but at the moment, with so many things need to be worked on and so many things need to be polished up with so many of these kids, we can't sit up here and say that this kid is D1. We need to put these kids, because some of these kids are going to have to go JUCO because due to the fact that they're going to need that extra couple of years of training if basketball is something that they want to do. You have to get with the right program. You have to get with the right people. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that you do, it will, if you're doing it, if you say you're doing it, if you're doing it, it'll show. If you say you're doing it and you're lying, it's still going to show. So how would you feel if what I said to y'all was a lie? And every time I talk to y'all, I lie to y'all. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Hernando, you need to brush up on the attitudes. Oxford, if I had any negative or anything I would give y'all, I would say build from this moment that y'all played tonight. Because if y'all can build from this moment that y'all played tonight, y'all be a tough team to stop. Haven't seen a team that can truly match up with y'all the way y'all played the second half. So with the way y'all played the second half, I would encourage y'all to continue to play like that and continue to stay together. But I would encourage y'all to work on y'all ball handling skills because that was one of the main things that I seen that was some of our kids' biggest mistakes. But overall, to those kids that I already talked about, Martin, Nevels, Metcalf, Fryer, Mathis, congratulations on the type of game that you played tonight for your respective teams. I would encourage y'all, like I say, once again, to build from that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be content with it. Do not be content with how things went tonight. You know what I'm saying? Just make it a positive when it comes to for the rest of the season. I just really feel like we gotta work on our kids with their attitudes. It's just That's the biggest thing that stood out to me. Besides some of the kids playing great, was just the poor attitudes. You know what I'm saying? A team would never be able to get through a lot of things if the majority of the players has attitudes. So, like I said, once again, I encourage y'all to work on your craft. To the Hernando Tigers, I wish y'all nothing but the best the rest of the season. I will see y'all play again, and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, I will be able to give a better report on y'all, but I'm only here to give you what I saw. I'm not here to make up a story just to get y'all to listen to me. I just hope that y'all can be able to fix it, because the team that y'all have is not as bad as y'all look tonight, but if y'all keep up those attitudes will affect the rest of the season. To Oxford Lady Chargers, like I said, build from this. You know what I'm saying? And even when you face adversity down the stretch, always still depend on each other like y'all did tonight. Because it wasn't an individual effort by the Oxford Lady Chargers, it was a team effort. And I will continue, I will encourage and continue for y'all. I will encourage and hope that y'all continue to keep this good work up that y'all did in the second half, because the first half was a little rocky. I'm not going to take anything from that to say y'all played well. Y'all played a great game the second half, because I think it was 24-25 at halftime, and I think the score was, Oxford was up 1, and they ended up with 68 points at the end of the game. So they did a major turnaround. And so, like I said, I will encourage y'all to build from that. And like I say, Hernando, I will encourage y'all to fix the attitudes, you know, and it is what it is. You can't make up and say that it wasn't. If anybody was at that game, they saw it was the refs and attitudes took Hernando out of the game. Out of the game. When you can't pinpoint it on one person, because it's a team effort. I'm not going to never pin things on one person when this is a team sport. The team as a collective had horrible attitudes tonight, and it showed in the scoreboard. Like I said, once again, I appreciate y'all joining me. Tomorrow, you're definitely going to want to tune in, because it's a lot of big games. I don't know if I'm going to go check Tupelo out, or if I'm going to go check DC or Horn Lake out, but there's going to be some good games going on, and I'm very excited about seeing the ones that I am going to see, because once again, I'll be able to see another team that I haven't seen. I just don't know which team is going to be. So tomorrow, please tune in around 8:30, 8:45. Everybody should be winding down from the games then and things like that. But like I say, I encourage y'all to keep, you know what I'm saying, the ones that are supporting me, I appreciate. The ones that are not, I appreciate you doing that too. But I'm not going to stop being who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stop trying to push the movement that I'm pushing. You know what I'm saying? And before I go, I want you AAU coaches to let you know that it is high school basketball season. Stop trying to figure out a way to validate yourself or stroke your own ego and bring up your AAU team. Don't nobody give a damn about your AAU team right now. Don't nobody care about that. Y'all got bigger issues that y'all need to worry about than instead of be trying to get over on kids. I'm so sick of y'all Negroes around here messing our kids up when we got way more problems than to try to please your brand. We got way more problems to try to please your brand. Man, y'all need to stop that, man. Y'all just need to stop. So don't nobody care about who played for your AAU team and they had good stats. It's not even about your team. It's not even about your players. It's about uplifting this state. If it's about uplifting this state, stop bringing up your brand when it comes to these kids' names. Man, that's not right. And these kids, when they go through all that big state of depression, you're going to hear me say this a million times, y'all jokers ain't going to be nowhere around, because all you did was took some of these folks' money and didn't really even care. So I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. And like I said, once again, if you ain't trained to go, you can't be on this show. And thanks to Oxford and Hernando for giving me a game to watch tonight and to give the public something to hear about. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. I just don't know which game I'm going to see. So regardless of the fact which game I want to see, I'm going to see. I would love for y'all to check in, but I think you're going to really want to check in to whatever game I go see tomorrow because, man, all I say is I'm excited. I'm excited. So until then, I'll see y'all tomorrow.